According to Ramiris, the Holy Knight Order had begun their training. They started from floor 51. Floors 51 to 60 were trapped by Ramiris, and she was excited to see the results. Adalman, who had been appointed as the guardian of the 60th floor, had summoned hordes of undead monsters. As a result, Ramiris created ferocious traps, such as hallways filled with endlessly respawning waves of the undead, or entire rooms devoid of oxygen, something undead monsters had no use for anyway. I was quite confident in those traps. But they were easily purified by the Holy Knights. The oxygen-free room got the better of them, but the people following immediately came to their rescue, reviving them. They were a direct counter to one another. That can't really be helped, I said to comfort a dejected Ramiris, as I continued to listen to her report. The Holy Knight Order made its way to the boss room of floor 60. Adalman was waiting there but was also beaten to a pulp by his opponents. I had come to expect that. After losing his power, he became a mere wight. I could only hope for him to be of use as a summoner, because the Holy Knights were too much for him alone to handle. Be that as it may, Adalman should have been considered a senpai to the Holy Knights. Getting beaten by his juniors was enough to dishearten even a dead man. Was he really frustrated about it? Super frustrated. Ah yeah, of course. I should go comfort him later. Then, what happened next? After they beat Adalman, they continued onward to the floors I trapped myself. I was gonna enjoy a show, thinking that they would be faced with a tough battle. The infuriating part is that all of Mentor's traps were evaded as well. The sliding floors, illusory walls, pitch-black hallways, light beams of death, and many more I can't even think of, were all overcome by them. Vildora and Ramiris gritted their teeth in frustration as they gave their reports. Vildora prepared floors 61 to 70 with a lot of care. Although there were casualties among the Holy Knight Order, those who weren't immediately killed were promptly revived. Moreover, with the resurrection bracelet, the Holy Knights weren't particularly concerned about the dangers. And here I thought that the difficulty had been set too high. It seemed that any squads of soldiers above rank 8 could recover as long as one of them was left standing. Now we really had to re-evaluate and readjust the difficulty. But my elemental colossus worked really hard. After improving upon the one you broke, my new one is super strong, and it killed all the challengers. However, very impressive. It was able to take out all of the Holy Knights. It packed one hell of a punch. Though, that really was to be expected. Its abilities alone were a threat. It could shrug off both swords and magic, coupled with its massive size. Yet agile motion, this wasn't an opponent any average person could take on. But if it's that strong, then why is Ramiris so upset? About that, one of the valiant members of the Holy Knights said something that was pretty embarrassing to Hinata-sama. Probably out of spite, one of the challengers, Vert-sama, commented. I think even Hinata-sama would fail at conquering this labyrinth. Miles answered my doubt with a wry smile. I see, had Hinata been part off force, even the elemental colossus wouldn't have been able to stop her. I should ask. So, how far did Hinata get? That's the main problem. I was shocked after hearing what happened. Hinata made it to floor 95 on her first day. Although she started from floor 61, this was still extremely fast. She easily immobilized the elemental colossus, and instantly destroyed it using disintegration. And then she made her way down to floor 80 in one go, and easily took care of the guardian there. My disciple Zijin was in a cocoon at the time. He was in no condition to move. Apido had already awoken though and was there to face her. Yet that woman, Hinata, was too quick for Apido to react, and defeated her. She was really strong. Apido is a queen wasp, after all. Her speed is unmatched among all monsters. Apido tried her best fighting Hinata, but even with that speed, her every move was seen through by that woman. Yeah, well, this was Hinata. She could certainly pull that off. I already found it pretty incredible to have won against her. That was how strong Hinata was. From there, that woman continued to make great strides. All of Kumara's subordinates guarding floors 81 to 89 were defeated by her one by one. Moreover, since Kumara is still young, we let Beretta stand in as the guardian off the 90th floor, but he didn't stand a chance, either. I see. Beretta does seem to have become stronger than before, but such an opponent was still too challenging for him. Hinata is so incredibly strong, it makes me wonder why she isn't a hero. I heard that Hinata had spent that night very elegantly on the 95th floor. And yesterday, she broke through floors 96 to 99 in one go, the supposedly super tough dragon chambers that Milan was proud of. By the way, on the terrain effect floors, there are not only earthquakes, there is also heavy gravity. It's been cranked up to 5 times the normal strength. You're supposed to have a hard time moving around. Lightning strikes from above, icy winds that freeze you to the bone, burning heat that scorches your skin. None of this left a mark on Hinata. And in the end, at last, it was my turn to fight. Seriously. Did you actually fight her? Yep, as the king of Labyrinth, I welcome all challengers. As the final boss, I will neither run nor hide. And, how'd it go? Of course, Vildora wouldn't run or hide. But apart from that, I was more concerned about the result. Veldora was stronger than me, so the thought of him losing didn't even cross my mind. Rather, I was curious about how Hinata had fought. Of course I won. She was really strong though. Her swordsmanship was very similar to the hero that sealed me, yet her fighting style was the opposite. It came as no surprise that Veldora won, but it was a shame that I didn't get to see the fight play out. I really hope there are at least some records left. Answer. Unfortunately, all combat records were deleted. I see. Darn it, I'm such an idiot for missing something so important. But seriously, the fight was mesmerizing. As expected from Hinata-sama, she put up an amazing fight. Did Mayumiles get to see it? I'm jealous. Hinata-san sure was strong. Even though everyone argues over which one of us is stronger, to be honest, I feel sick every time I hear such a conversation. Wahahaha, how modest of you, Masayuki-sama. Mayumiles-kun, that's not modesty, it's nothing more than his honest feelings. Hahaha, please stop joking like that, Mayumiles-san. Masayuki tried to play dumb with a rigid smile hung on his face. Yet Mayumiles kept on singing his praises, not realizing Masayuki's desperation. I see. Surely, you must be saying that this is no casual matter to discuss. Indeed, if Masayuki-sama and Veldora-sama were truly to fight, it would undoubtedly be a battle on a scale yet unseen by man. Please allow me to watch when the time comes. Usually, Mayumiles was good at reading people's thoughts, yet under such circumstances, his moronic antics were pushing Masayuki to the brink. Please stop. Masayuki's dying over there. Oh, I see. Masayuki, you want to play around a bit with me? Playing around a bit with you will cost Masayuki's life. Don't get so hasty. Masayuki is strong, but he mainly relies on his hat during battle. If we really had to fight, I'd probably have the upper hand. That's why, he wouldn't be able to match up against the invincible Veldora. I see. That's how I'd guessed anyway. As expected from Rimuru, you really get me. Gahahaha. Phew, this will do. It's all because you let it go straight to your head when anyone praises you. So, what's your conclusion? First, it's time to hear what Veldora has to say. Having made up my mind, I turned to Veldora. He nodded with an before continuing his speech. So, yeah, the hero who managed to seal me didn't throw out any unnecessary attacks. By contrast, this woman called Hinata tried out a series of different attacks to see which ones would be effective against me. That being said, she was just as calm and cautious, but Hinata did heaps of unnecessary stuff. According to Veldora, Hinata tried out a variety of attacks. She utilized all sorts of magic, spells, magic tools, and even magic artifacts. No expense was spared in their battle. Any purely physical attacks were ineffective against Veldora. That's why Hinata probably ran a number of tests to see which attacks had an impact. But in the end, none of Hinata's attacks amounted to much of anything. By the way, her last attack was pretty good. For just a moment, she managed to hurt me. It was something similar to the absolute severance of the hero. What Veldora was praising was probably her Mel's slash. I figured that it was likely Hinata's trump card. She even went so far as to sacrifice her Moonlight Rapier in order to execute this deadly attack. Yet, even so, she still couldn't hurt Veldora. Considering her fighting style, will she pose a threat? It's certain that she's stronger than Clayman and the other poser demon lords. Even members of the Octagram may find themselves in danger, should they be careless. But Mentor is something else. Gahaha, of course. She'll need at least 10 times more magicules to even stand a chance against me. I see. Even Hinata was outmatched by Veldora. How I would have loved to have seen that fight. It would have been useful for future reference, had it been recorded permanently. Never mind, it's too late for that now. Let the past rest, it's time to get back on track. I get it. In other words, because of the whole ordeal with the Holy Knights and Hinata, all the floors below 51 are now out of commission. But hey, wouldn't the Guardian have revived, nonetheless? About that, wasn't Adalman weaker than Gozer? He helps me out with research, and I think he's outstanding and all, but as the Guardian of the 60th floor, he's not exactly dependable. Besides. At this point, Ramiris began to tremble. My masterpiece, the Elemental Colossus, was broken. It didn't revive. She broke down into tears as she finished. Wasn't it a Guardian as well? Did you forget to equip it with a bracelet or something? And no, it was the same when you destroyed it, Ramiris said in a huff. For some reason, golems just won't revive. I heard that it was possible to revive naturally spawning golems, but the ones created by Ramiris would not. Hearing that made me think of something. Perhaps it had to do with the lack of a soul. After all, Beretta can be revived. Is it possible that the Elemental Colossus was considered to be an item? That's very likely. Ramiris, could the reason why your skill did not apply be that the Colossus was outside its effect? Veldora added in agreement, so I was probably right. In other words, even if she were to make another one, there's still a chance that it would get broken again. The elemental colossus was strong though, so it was unlikely for it to get destroyed often. That said, we still needed to figure something out. But before that, it takes a long time to make that thing, doesn't it? Yeah, that's why there's no guardian on floor 70. Of course. Also, Zijin, on floor 80, will need to sleep for a bit longer. Apito has grown stronger as well, but a combat experience is lacking. If she is planning to be a guardian, I think she will need more training. According to Vildor, he seemed to have given Apito some combat training. So, he's heading in that direction. Although I personally had doubts concerning the matter, because Vildor seemed highly motivated, I'd let them have their way. By the way, her instructor was Hinata. Apparently, using the rematch with Vildor as bait, he had asked Hinata to mentor Apito. Hinata was already tutoring the kids, she must have been willing to instruct Apito as well. There was also Kumar. Floors 81 through 89 were guarded by Kumar's subordinates. Those magians were all generated using Kumar's tails, each of them possessed free will, and could evolve and learn independently. Due to the release of all her subordinates, Kumar's own magicule content decreased drastically. She, alongside Chloe, Alice, and the others, would be studying under Hinata. As of yesterday, that's what had been decided. In other words, we have no real guardians from floors 60 to 90 right now. Yes. That's why we were troubled. For some reason, Ramiris and Vildor both looked rather smug. Well, what? The timing is just horrible. Miles and Masayuki were both shocked by the current state of affairs within the labyrinth. And I thought that there was room for slacks. Looks like I was too naive once again. I got the gist of things. I sighed, feeling rather powerless.